Okay, so I am doing the plant, the ghost orchid, otherwise known as its scientific name, Dendrophylax lindeni. Now, this is probably the most revered revered orchid in the US, if not the world. It was discovered by John Jules Linden in Cuba in 1844. And here is the plant here.
Right there. The plant. Right here.
Thank you, Xavier.
You're welcome.
So, the plant was discovered in the subtropical peninsula of Florida about 50 years later. It's usually found in concealed swamps of Cuba, Fakahatchee Strand Preserve State Park, or Big Cypress National Preserve and other guarded areas like that in Florida. Now, it's clearly fascinating in bloom, as you can see.
That right there.
Again, thank you, Xavier.
Or right on his face. I don't know.
At night, pollinated by the Cositius antaeus, otherwise known as the giant sphinx moth, also known as the flying tongue. Again, here. The flying tongue. Here. It is a moth.
It's right there. Keep going.
Okay, so it's theorized that the moth follows the order that the orchid gives off. Back to the source, sticks its 5-inch tongue into the flower, and drinks the nectar from it, and then goes on to pollinate another orchid, as it can't just pollinate one orchid, it has to go to different orchids. Now, the flower blooms in June and July. It is a seasonal orchid, as you know, you would guess any orchid would be, I guess. I don't know. I don't know much about any other orchids.
Yeah.
And the habitat destruction and hydrological changes due to human development in South Florida have been partially responsible for the decline of ghost orchid populations. Basically, shortening that would be, we kind of messed up and we kind of shortened the population of the ghost orchids because we're humans and we seem to screw up a lot when it comes to nature.
Oh yeah.
Now, seeing as we messed up so much, they are now rare and endangered, and they are one of the rarest plants on this planet. And also, another thing that kills it off is the winter in Florida. The humidity drops off, and this kills like thousands of seedlings. Here's a seedling.
Oh yeah, right there. Oh, by the way, I want to ask you a quick question.
Yes, Xavier?
The moths, how endangered are they? I mean, like, I don't know how endangered. Like, are they endangered or are they like? Nah, I think they are. We haven't researched that, but I think they are. Are they?
I didn't think to look that up. Wow.
Those words are.
I'm pretty sure they're rare.
Yeah, the words are gonna be
Here,
put up. Right here is gonna be where, like, right there is the true.
Literally going to
facts.
search this on my phone right now because
Right
I'm
now.
an idiot for not looking that up before.
I'm an idiot.
Here's the big sign saying idiot for me. Now, it is found from Brazil through Central America and into southern parts of Texas and Florida in the United States. Wingspan is 126 to 178 millimeters.
Whoa, that's
And
a
it's
lot of
very
inches.
rare in North America. It is the only insect in the continent with long enough proboscis.
Proboscis.
That's a very...
That's a big word.
It's a very special word. To pollinate the similarly rare ghost orchid. And there is your information. Another cool thing about the ghost orchid is that it lacks chlorophyll, so it doesn't need sunlight to survive. And I think that's pretty cool. You know, it's a flower, yet it still doesn't need the most important thing throughout most of the ecosystem to survive. That's amazing. That's also an interesting fact. And building onto the fitness is its ecological role, I guess. Not really building upon, well, it's just the next step. But the ecological role is not too big it's considering it's a rare plant, it doesn't really have much of an effect on the environment. The only thing that I know about the ghost orchid, and the only orchidism that depends on it, is the sphinx moth. It's the only organism I know that actually depends on plant, which I guess it's kind of depending on. I mean, it gets nectar from the ghost orchid, so I would assume that's its main source of food. I know I haven't done a lot of research on the sphinx moth. And here's some more fun facts. You see, in Corkscrew Swamp Sanctuary in Naples, Florida, there was a super ghost. This was a ghost orchid that grew 45 feet high, in trees. And it had 11 blooms in total at its peak, which is quite amazing. It's the only ghost whose location, it's the only wild ghost whose location is not kept secret. And the last interesting fact is, throughout the majority of the 20th century, orchid collecting was actually, a pretty fun legal activity, but is now banned. It is now illegal to collect these kinds of, rare orchids. So, you see one? Don't touch it. That's my suggestion. And that is my presentation. Cut. That's a wrap.
It's a wrap. It's a wrap like a hot dog.